Welcome to the channel, where today we're diving headfirst into the shadowy, pulse-pounding world of the 2015 P5 USA coin, a seemingly ordinary nickel that hides a labyrinth of secrets so bizarre, so perplexing, that it's left collectors, historians, and even the US Mint itself grappling with questions that may never be answered. What if a small mistake made it one of the rarest coins ever struck? Picture this, a coin that slips through the cracks of a high-tech mint, carrying flaws so subtle yet so profound that they spark heated debates in numismatic circles, with whispers of lost die trials, clandestine production runs, and anomalies that defy everything we thought we knew about modern coinage. Let's start with the historical context, because 2015 wasn't just any year, it was a time when the US Mint was churning out billions of coins under intense pressure to meet circulation demands, yet somehow, in the heart of Philadelphia, something went terribly, gloriously wrong. The 2015 P. Jefferson nickel, adorned with the familiar portrait of the third president and the serene Monticello on its reverse, was meant to be a workhorse of American currency, but a series of inexplicable errors transformed it into a numismatic enigma that has obsessed collectors for a decade. Imagine a die, the heavy metal stamp that imprints a coin's design, cracking under the strain of relentless production, leaving jagged, hairline fractures that bleed molten metal into places it was never meant to go, creating coins with eerie, raised lines that look like scars across Jefferson's noble profile. These die cracks, some so faint they require a loupe to detect, others so dramatic they distort entire features, have been found on a handful of 2015 P nickels, raising chilling questions about how such flaws escape the mint's rigorous quality control. But it doesn't stop there. Collectors have uncovered specimens with doubled dies, where Jefferson's I or the word liberty appears hauntingly duplicated, as if the die itself was struck twice at a slight angle, leaving a ghostly twin of the design that sends shivers down the spine of anyone who peers through a magnifying glass. These doubled dies aren't just mistakes, they're evidence of a moment in time when the mint's machinery faltered, when human oversight failed, and when a coin was born that was never meant to see the light of day. Then there are the planchet flaws, those raw, blank discs of metal destined to become nickels, which somehow entered the press with imperfections so bizarre they read like clues in a detective novel. Some 2015 P nickels have been found with lamination errors, where the metal surface peels away like the skin of an ancient artifact, revealing layers beneath that hint at impurities in the alloy or mishandling in the mint's chaotic production line. Others show off-center strikes, where Jefferson's face is shoved to one side, half the design vanishing into a void of blank metal, as if the coin was caught in a mechanical scream, misaligned at the moment of creation. And let's not overlook the die clashes, those surreal moments when the obverse and reverse dies smash together without a planchet between them, imprinting faint traces of Monticello's columns onto Jefferson's cheek or ghostly hints of his profile onto the reverse, creating coins that seem possessed by their own production history. These errors aren't just technical glitches, they're portals into the hidden world of the mint, where machines hum in dimly lit rooms, where workers race against quotas, and where a single oversight can birth a coin that defies logic. Now, let's pull back the curtain on the collectors, those relentless treasure hunters who've turned the 2015 P nickel into a modern-day holy grail. Their obsession began with whispers on online forums, where a user named Tomic03 on Coin Talk in April 2015 posted about strange anomalies, like die chips in Jefferson's hair or trail dies that left faint, trailing metal flows under liberty, sparking a frenzy that spread like wildfire through the numismatic community. Collectors began scouring bank rolls, tearing open mint sets, and examining every nickel under high-powered microscopes, driven by a feverish need to uncover the next great find. A coin with an invisible mint mark, perhaps, or one with a shadow-like impression that shouldn't exist. Some have theorized about lost die trials, experimental strikes that the mint never intended for circulation, possibly created in secret to test new designs or alloys, only to be accidentally released into the wild. These theories aren't just idle speculation, they're fueled by confidential reports that occasionally surface, hinting at undocumented production runs in 2015, where the mint pushed its equipment to the breaking point, resulting in errors that were swept under the rug. One chilling story comes from a collector in Ohio who, in 2016, found a 2015 P nickel with what appeared to be a reversed mint mark, a P that was inexplicably inverted, defying all known records of mint practices and suggesting a die that was either tampered with or created in error during a late-night shift. This coin, now locked away in a private collection, has never been officially authenticated, but its existence haunts numismatists who wonder how many other such anomalies are out there, hiding in pocket change or forgotten coin jars. The mystery deepens with reports of coins bearing ghost-like impressions, where faint outlines of letters or devices appear in places they shouldn't. One collector described a 2015 P nickel with a shadowy E pluribus unum on the obverse, as if the reverse die's design had bled through in a spectral transfer, a phenomenon that experts can't fully explain without invoking theories of die wear, improper annealing, or even sabotage within the mint. Improper annealing, by the way, is another rabbit hole. This process, where planchets are heated and cooled to ensure durability, went awry for some 2015 P nickels, resulting in coins with bizarre colorations, from deep purples to sickly yellows, as if the metal itself was rebelling against its transformation into currency. These color anomalies, combined with reports of coins struck on undersized planchets, possibly dime blanks, suggest a mint in disarray, where quality control was stretched to its limits, allowing rogue coins to slip into circulation. But what does this all mean? Why does the 2015 P nickel, of all coins, carry such a heavy burden of mystery? Some point to the sheer volume of production that year, over 1.4 billion nickels struck in Philadelphia alone, arguing that the mint's breakneck pace led to inevitable oversights, with tired workers and overworked machines missing critical errors. Others whisper of something more sinister, like unauthorized experiments or dies that were reused past their breaking point, creating coins that were never meant to exist. The numismatic community is divided, with some dismissing these anomalies as minor quirks, while others see them as evidence of a hidden chapter in mint history, a chapter that might still be unfolding as collectors uncover new specimens. Take, for example, the story of a retired mint employee who, in a 2020 interview with a numismatic magazine, hinted at unlogged die changes in 2015, where experimental dies were tested without proper documentation, only to be scrapped, or so the mint thought. Could some of these dies have been used accidentally, producing coins with features that don't match any official records? The possibility sends chills through the collecting world, where every new find is a potential clue to a larger puzzle. And then there's the allure of the hunt itself, the idea that somewhere, in a cash register or a forgotten piggy bank, lies a 2015 P nickel with an error so profound it could rewrite numismatic history. Collectors have reported finding coins with beehive interior die breaks, where the metal inside Jefferson's portrait bubbles up like a honeycomb, a rare defect that's been documented on only a handful of specimens and points to catastrophic die failure. Others have uncovered coins with broad-struck errors, where the planchet was struck outside the collar, resulting in a grotesquely oversized nickel that retains every detail but looks like it was stretched by some malevolent force. These discoveries keep the obsession alive, with each new find fueling speculation about what else might be out there. The 2015 P nickel has become a symbol of the unknown, a coin that embodies the chaos and unpredictability of the minting process, where human error, mechanical failure, and sheer chance collide to create something extraordinary. And yet, the deeper we dig, the more questions arise. Why were some coins struck with such dramatic misalignments, where Jefferson's face is nearly pushed off the edge, leaving a crescent of blank metal that screams of a machine gone rogue? How did coins with clashed dies, bearing the faint imprint of Monticello on Jefferson's cheek, make it past inspectors who were trained to catch such flaws? And what about the rumors of a phantom die, a term whispered among collectors to describe a die that supposedly produced a small batch of 2015 P nickels with unexplainable features, like a missing letter in Liberty or a distorted Monticello that looks more like a haunted mansion than a stately home? These stories aren't just folklore, they're backed by tangible finds, like the 2015 P nickel discovered in a Pennsylvania vending machine in 2017, which bore a die clash so severe that the reverse showed traces of Jefferson's eye, as if the coin was staring back at its finder. This coin, now a legend in numismatic circles, has never been fully explained, with experts debating whether it was a one-off error or part of a larger, undocumented batch. The 2015 P nickels mysteries don't end with physical flaws. Next, imagine a single, unassuming 5-cent coin, the 1993 D. Jefferson nickel, struck in the heart of the Denver Mint, slipping through the cracks of history to become one of the most enigmatic and sought-after anomalies in numismatic lore, its very existence sparking questions that ignite the imagination. What if a small mistake made it one of the rarest coins ever struck? Picture the year 1993. A time when the U.S. Mint was churning out billions of coins, yet something inexplicable happened in Denver, a fleeting moment where the precise machinery of mass production faltered, birthing a coin, or perhaps a handful, that defied every rule of minting perfection, a coin that would haunt collectors and spark wild theories for decades to come. The 1993 D nickel, on the surface, is a humble piece, bearing the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson and the stately Monticello, but beneath its ordinary facade lies a labyrinth of errors, anomalies, and mysteries that have left experts baffled and enthusiasts obsessed, each irregularity whispering secrets about a minting process gone awry. It begins with the mint mark, that tiny D stamped to signify Denver, but on some of these coins, collectors have reported marks that appear faint, misaligned, or even doubled, as if the die itself hesitated before striking, a subtle flaw that raises chilling questions. Was this a one-off error, or did an entire batch slip through unnoticed? The historical context deepens the intrigue. 1993 was a year of transition at the mint, with new technologies and pressures to meet rising demands, yet whispers of confidential reports suggest something more, perhaps experimental dies or unauthorized test strikes that were never meant to reach circulation, coins that should have been melted down but somehow escaped into the wild. Numismatists speak in hushed tones of planchet flaws, those metal discs prepared for striking, some of which were improperly annealed, leaving the coins with a strange, almost otherworldly sheen, or surfaces that seem to ripple under certain lights, as if the metal itself holds a memory of its chaotic creation. Then there are the die clashes, where the obverse and reverse dies collided without a planchet between them, leaving ghostly impressions, faint outlines of Jefferson's profile haunting Monticello's columns, or vice versa, creating coins that seem to carry spectral images, artifacts of a mistake that no quality control should have allowed. Doubled features add to the enigma, with some coins showing Jefferson's eye or the steps of Monticello unnaturally sharp, as if the die was struck twice, slightly offset, creating a shadow effect that defies explanation, each anomaly fueling speculation. Was this intentional, a hidden signature of a rogue mint worker, or a mechanical glitch that no one caught? Collectors, driven by an almost primal urge to uncover the truth, have spent lifetimes scouring pocket change and estate sales, their obsession growing with every tale of a 1993 D nickel that doesn't quite fit, coins with invisible initials, where the designer's mark seems to vanish under a loop, or others with shadowed devices, where faint, unexplained lines linger like whispers from the mint's secretive past. The stories grow stranger. One collector, in a dusty Ohio coin shop, found a 1993 D with a mint mark that appeared to float above the surface, an optical trick or a striking error that no expert could fully explain, while another, in a small Texas auction, uncovered a coin with a die crack so precise it seemed to trace a hidden message across Jefferson's profile, sparking theories of lost die trials, experimental strikes that were never logged in official records. These discoveries, each more baffling than the last, point to a deeper mystery. How did such errors evade the mint's rigorous oversight, and what do they reveal about the chaos behind the scenes in 1993? Some numismatists whisper of government oversights, perhaps a distracted quality control team or a rushed production schedule that allowed these anomalies to slip through, while others speculate about unreported incidents, maybe a late-night shift where a single die was used beyond its intended lifespan, producing coins with quirks that defy cataloging. The thrill of the hunt intensifies with every new find, as collectors pore over their specimens with magnifying glasses, chasing rumors of coins with ghost-like impressions, faint traces of Monticello's windows appearing on Jefferson's cheek, or a shadowy D that seems to hover in the wrong place, defying the mint's own records. Each coin tells a story, but none more gripping than the 1993 D, a coin that seems to exist on the edge of possibility, its imperfections a map to a hidden chapter of numismatic history. The deeper you dive, the more questions arise. Could a forgotten batch of these coins still be out there, hiding in a jar of change or a child's piggy bank, waiting to be discovered? The obsession spreads, fueled by tales of collectors who've dedicated decades to this single year, this single denomination, driven by the tantalizing possibility that the next coin they hold might reveal a new clue, a new anomaly, a new piece of the puzzle. Expert analyses only deepen the mystery. Metallurgists have studied these coins, finding inconsistencies in the alloy, as if some were struck on planchets meant for another denomination, while others bear strike-through errors, where debris on the die left strange, irregular patterns, like fingerprints of a moment no one can fully reconstruct. The 1993 D nickel is more than a coin, it's a riddle, a treasure map, a portal to a moment when the U.S. Mint, that bastion of precision, let something extraordinary slip through its fingers, and the collectors who chase it are modern-day adventurers, driven by the same fever that once sent explorers into uncharted lands. Every detail, from the misaligned mint marks to the doubled dies, from the ghostly clashes to the planchet flaws, builds a narrative that pulls you deeper, each sentence raising the stakes. What if the next 1993 do you find is the key to unraveling a decades-old secret? What if the mint knows more than it's ever admitted, and these coins are the only evidence of a truth buried in classified logs? The suspense grows with every story, of a coin found in a parking lot, its surface marred by a die crack that shouldn't exist, or another, tucked in a forgotten collection, with a mint mark that seems to shimmer under light, as if it were struck by a die no one was supposed to use. The 1993 D nickel is a paradox, a common coin that's anything but a relic of a moment when human error, mechanical failure, or perhaps something more deliberate collided to create a numismatic enigma that refuses to be solved, each anomaly a breadcrumb leading to a truth that remains just out of reach, pulling collectors and dreamers into a hunt that feels like chasing a ghost, one that might still be out there, waiting in the next handful of change, ready to rewrite history with a single impossible strike. Next, what if a seemingly ordinary 2014 D5-cent coin, a humble Jefferson nickel jangling in your pocket, held secrets so profound that it could rewrite numismatic history, spark frenzied hunts across the globe, and ignite debates among collectors who've spent lifetimes chasing its elusive mysteries? Imagine a coin, struck in the heart of the Denver Mint, slipping through the cracks of meticulous quality control, bearing anomalies so bizarre they defy explanation, errors that whisper of chaos in the minting process, hidden experiments, or even covert decisions buried in classified U.S. Mint records. The 2014 D. Jefferson nickel, unassuming at first glance, is no stranger to such intrigue, its sleek profile of Thomas Jefferson masking a labyrinth of production mishaps, from misaligned strikes to ghostly die clashes that leave faint, otherworldly impressions of designs never meant to coexist. Picture the scene: it's 2014, a year when the Denver Mint churned out millions of nickels, each one destined for circulation, yet somehow, a select few emerged as numismatic enigmas, their surfaces etched with flaws that captivate the imagination, like planchets warped by impurities, creating lamination errors where the metal peels away like forbidden secrets, or doubled dies where Jefferson's stoic gaze appears to shimmer with an eerie, duplicated shadow. These coins, born from the collision of human error and mechanical rebellion, challenge everything we know about the precision of modern minting, raising questions that burn in the minds of collectors. How could such anomalies escape detection in an era of advanced technology? Were these errors the result of a rogue die, a fleeting moment of distraction, or something far more deliberate, a test strike gone awry, a die trial lost to history, or a whispered experiment locked away in the Mint's vaults? The 2014 D. nickel story begins with its historical context, a time when the U.S. Mint was navigating economic pressures, tweaking alloys to cut costs, and pushing machinery to its limits, setting the stage for chaos to creep into the production line. Collectors speak in hushed tones of coins with missing mint marks, a D that should gleam beneath Jefferson's bust but instead vanishes, leaving a void that defies the Mint's strict protocols. Could it be a filled die, clogged with grease or debris, or a deliberate omission that hints at something deeper, perhaps a die meant for another denomination mistakenly paired with a nickel planchet? The speculation doesn't end there. Numismatists have uncovered specimens with off-center strikes, where Jefferson's profile drifts perilously close to the coin's edge, as if the planchet itself rebelled against the press, creating a crescent of blank metal that screams of mechanical failure. Then there are the die clashes, those haunting imprints where the reverse Monticello design bleeds faintly onto Jefferson's face, a ghostly reminder of dies slamming together without a planchet to cushion their impact, each clash a snapshot of a moment when the Mint's precision faltered, leaving behind a coin that's both artifact and anomaly. The rarity of these errors fuels an obsession among collectors, who scour pocket change and bank rolls with a fervor bordering on madness, driven by tales of a 2014 D nickel with a shadowed device, where Monticello's columns appear faintly doubled, as if the coin itself is haunted by its own creation. Some whisper of feeder finger errors, where the machinery that guides planchets into place leaves jagged scratches across the coin's surface, scars of a process gone wrong, while others speak of lamination flaws so severe the coin's surface bubbles and cracks, revealing the fragile alloy beneath. These imperfections aren't just mistakes, they're clues to a hidden narrative, a puzzle that numismatists piece together through late-night forums, comparing photos of coins with inexplicable ridges, distorted lettering, or faint traces of designs that shouldn't exist. The 2014 D. Nichols legend grows with every discovery, like the coin found in a Colorado vending machine, its mint mark inexplicably faint, sparking theories of a worn die or an unauthorized test strike slipped into circulation. Experts pore over these anomalies, magnifying surfaces to reveal microabrasions or subtle doubling in the 5 cents inscription, each detail a breadcrumb leading deeper into the mint's inner workings. What makes these coins so gripping is the mystery of their survival. How did they evade the mint's rigorous inspections, slipping into circulation to be found years later by eagle-eyed collectors? Some theorize about lax oversight during a busy production run, while others entertain wilder ideas: a disgruntled mint employee sneaking flawed coins out, or a batch of experimental planchets, perhaps struck on leftover stock from another denomination, creating a hybrid coin that defies categorization. The 2014 D. Nichols allure lies in its ability to transform the mundane into the extraordinary, turning a 5-cent piece into a relic of intrigue, a tangible link to a moment when the U.S. Mint's perfection unraveled. Collectors recount stories of their finds with a mix of awe and obsession, like the hobbyist who spotted a 2014 D with a ghost mint mark, a faint D overlaid with an impossible shadow, suggesting a repunched mint mark or a die clash so severe it rewrote the coin's identity. These discoveries fuel a treasure-hunting frenzy, as collectors dream of unearthing the next great anomaly: a coin with a doubled reverse, a misaligned obverse, or a planchet flaw so dramatic it redefines rarity. The 2014 D. Nichols errors aren't just mistakes, they're windows into the chaos of creation, each one a testament to the fleeting moments when human and machine faltered in unison. Numismatists speculate about undocumented die trials, coins struck to test new presses or alloys, only to be accidentally released, their existence a secret the mint never intended to reveal. The deeper you dive, the more questions arise. Could there be a 2014 D. Nickel out there with a mule error, pairing the Jefferson obverse with a reverse meant for another coin, a mistake so rare it would shake the numismatic world? Or perhaps a coin struck on a defective planchet, its composition subtly off, hinting at a batch of experimental alloys never meant for public eyes. The stories multiply, each one more tantalizing than the last, like the collector who found a 2014 D with a crenellated rim, its edge inexplicably notched, suggesting a malfunctioning collar or a planchet cut from misaligned stock. These coins are more than metal, they're artifacts of a hidden history, each one a challenge to unravel the truth behind its creation. The 2014 D. Nichols mystique is amplified by the mint's silence, its records offering no clues about these anomalies, leaving collectors to piece together theories from fragments of evidence, worn dies, overworked presses, or perhaps a fleeting lapse in quality control that let these treasures slip through. The hunt for these coins is a journey into the unknown, where every vending machine, coin jar, or forgotten drawer could hold a piece of this numismatic puzzle, a coin that shouldn't exist yet somehow does, its flaws a siren call to those who seek the rare and the impossible. The 2014 D. Nickel stands as a testament to the unpredictable alchemy of minting, where precision meets chaos, and the result is a coin that captivates, confounds, and compels collectors to keep searching, driven by the tantalizing possibility that the next coin they hold might unlock another secret of the mint's enigmatic past. Next, imagine a single, unassuming 5-cent coin from 2001, a Jefferson nickel so ordinary at first glance that it could jingle unnoticed in your pocket, yet beneath its familiar facade lies a labyrinth of mystery, error, and obsession that has haunted numismatists for decades, sparking questions that burn with intrigue. What if a small mistake made it one of the rarest coins ever struck? Picture the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia, the year 2001, a time when the world was reeling from seismic shifts, and in the clatter of presses churning out millions of nickels, something went inexplicably wrong, a cascade of errors so bizarre they defy explanation, transforming the humble 2001 5-cent coin into a numismatic enigma that grips collectors with a feverish intensity, each anomaly whispering secrets about a minting process teetering on the edge of chaos. It begins with the mint mark, that tiny P stamped beneath the date, a symbol so routine it's barely noticed, yet on certain 2001 P nickels, it appears misaligned, shifted ever so slightly, as if the die itself rebelled against precision, raising questions about how such a slip evaded the mint's vigilant quality control, and as collectors peered closer, they uncovered more planchet flaws, those metal discs meant to be flawless, some inexplicably thin, others bearing strange striations, as though the raw material was sabotaged before it ever met the press. Then come the die clashes, ghostly imprints where the obverse and reverse dies collided without a planchet, leaving faint outlines of Jefferson's profile haunting Monticello's steps, a spectral dance of metal that shouldn't exist, each clash a breadcrumb leading deeper into a mystery that grows darker with every discovery. Doubled features emerge next, with letters and numerals on some coins appearing shadowed, as if struck twice by a trembling die, creating a surreal effect that numismatists call double die errors. But on the 2001 P, these doublings are inconsistent, some so faint they require a loupe to detect, others bold enough to scream anomaly, fueling speculation about experimental dies or secret test runs never meant to see daylight. The historical context only deepens the intrigue. In 2001, the mint was grappling with new technologies, transitioning to high-speed presses, and whispers of overworked staff and lax oversight swirl through collector forums, suggesting a perfect storm where errors could slip through unnoticed, perhaps even intentionally ignored in the rush to meet production quotas. Collectors, driven by an almost primal obsession, began scouring pocket change, bank rolls, and estate sales, each hoping to uncover a 2001 P with the fabled, invisible initials, a rumored error where the designer's initials, FS for Felix Schlag, vanish entirely from Jefferson's shoulder, a phenomenon so rare it's dismissed by some as myth. Yet persistent stories from credible numismatists claim sightings, with one collector swearing he held such a coin under lamplight, only for it to disappear into a private collection before authentication. The plot thickens with tales of misaligned strikes, where Jefferson's portrait sits off-center, sometimes so drastically that part of the design spills off the edge, creating a coin that feels like a mistake too bold to be accidental, prompting theories of rogue mint workers or unauthorized experiments, each mistrike a puzzle piece in a narrative that refuses to resolve. Shadowed devices, where elements like Monticello's columns appear faintly doubled or blurred, add another layer, suggesting worn dies pushed beyond their limits, yet why these specific errors cluster around the 2001 P remains unanswered, with some speculating about lost die trials, prototypes never meant for circulation, that somehow slipped into the wild. Confidential reports, allegedly buried in mint archives, hint at undocumented production anomalies that year, with rumors of a batch of nickels struck on defective planchets, perhaps intended for destruction but released by oversight, each coin a fugitive from a system designed to eliminate imperfection. The collector community, a tight-knit world of historians, hobbyists, and treasure hunters, buzzes with stories of near misses and tantalizing finds. One numismatist recounts finding a 2001 P with a mint mark that appears inverted, defying all known records, only to lose it in a trade before it could be studied. Another speaks of a coin with ghost-like impressions, as if the press hesitated mid-strike, leaving a hauntingly incomplete image. These discoveries, often shared in hushed tones at coin shows or cryptic posts on obscure forums, fuel a growing obsession, with collectors spending sleepless nights examining rolls under magnifying glasses, driven by the thrill of uncovering a piece of history that was never meant to exist. The 2001 PS anomalies raise unsettling questions about the mint's inner workings. How could so many errors, misalignments, die clashes, doubled features, and vanishing initials converge on a single year's coinage? Was it mere negligence, or does it point to something more deliberate, perhaps test runs for new equipment that went awry, or even a covert attempt to mark certain coins for reasons lost to time? The mint's silence only amplifies the mystery, as official statements dismiss these errors as routine, yet numismatists counter with evidence of coins that defy routine explanation, like the specimen with a mint mark that appears to float above the surface, an optical illusion created by an overpolished die, or another with a planchet so flawed it feels lighter in the hand, as if the metal itself holds secrets. The emotional pull of the chase is palpable. Collectors describe the adrenaline of spotting a potential error coin, the heart-pounding moment when a loupe reveals a doubled letter or a misaligned date, each find a step closer to unraveling a puzzle that spans decades. The 2001 P becomes more than a coin, it's a portal to a hidden history, a tangible link to a moment when human error, mechanical failure, and perhaps something more collided to create artifacts of enduring fascination. Theories abound, from plausible to outlandish. Some believe a small batch of 2001 P nickels was struck on experimental planchets meant for another denomination, explaining their odd weight and texture. Others whisper of a disgruntled mint worker slipping intentional errors into circulation as a silent protest, though no evidence supports such a claim. Yet the possibility lingers, fueled by the sheer improbability of so many anomalies converging on one coin, each error a clue to a larger story that remains just out of reach. The hunt for these coins transforms collectors into detectives, piecing together fragments of numismatic lore, from the tale of a Philadelphia dealer who claims to have seen a 2001 P with a reverse so mistruck it showed elements of a different coin entirely, to the story of a Midwestern grandmother who unknowingly spent a rare error coin at a gas station, only for it to resurface years later in a collector's hands. Each anecdote adds to the legend, a tapestry of obsession woven from the threads of chance, error, and discovery. The 2001 PS mystique lies not just in its flaws but in what they reveal about the fragility of precision, the human element behind a process meant to be infallible, and the tantalizing possibility that more of these coins, each a tiny rebellion against order, still hide in circulation, waiting to be found. As collectors pore over their finds, they wrestle with questions that grow more urgent with each anomaly. Why did the mint's quality control fail so spectacularly in 2001? Could there be a trove of undocumented errors still out there, masquerading as pocket change? The 2001 P5-cent coin, with its misaligned mint marks, ghostly clashes, and vanishing initials, stands as a testament to the unpredictable alchemy of human error and mechanical imperfection, a coin that invites you to question everything you thought you knew about the money in your hand, pulling you deeper into a mystery that grows more intoxicating with every unanswered question, each coin a potential key to a secret that may never be fully unlocked.